Hey, welcome to Matrices and the Calculator. I guess once you started to realise there's a lot of operations we can do with matrices, the question was, is the technology available to work with these? If they're very big matrices, even addition might become painstaking. All right, well, let's have a look at the Casio 9860 Plus, and here I have selected Run Mat Mode, and of course the mat there stands for matrices. This is where you're going to introduce matrices into run mode and work with them. Okay, so let's have a look now at the two ways of setting up run mode and how you work with matrices in those two modes. So come on down now and let's have a look at this set of screenshots here. So I've gone to Shift Menu to set up in there. That setup in there gives us this window. And this is the window you'd usually work in. You'd usually have math mode, I think, here. That would be useful for Year 12 maths. But I'm going to say, let's choose F2. F2 is line, and if you do that, you get linear mode here. And I want to show you, when you set run up in the linear way, how to use matrices. So if you hit linear and then execute, you come up with this screen, and you can see you've got this arrow mat down in the corner, and it's saying you're in run mode, ready to do matrices. So if you now select F1 immediately below it, then you will come up with this window, and you can choose what sort of matrices you want to enter. So they've got a list of A, B, C here, so you can actually click on and execute that and change this number. This is saying I'm going to enter a matrix A 3 by 3 and a matrix B which will be a 2 by 2. You can actually change those by highlighting. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to store in this section of the calculator the matrices we want to use. So this method of storing those matrices is probably most useful if you are going to do repeated calculations with A and B and so on. If it's just matrix A plus matrix B, then there's another way later on in this presentation I'll show you, which is a bit quicker if you only want to use a one-off use of a single matrix. Okay, come down, let's look at the next step now. So if we hit execute there, after we've chosen the size, we come up with this window, and it allows us to enter entries for a 3 by 3. So we'd actually change the highlight up to there, and then enter our number, push execute, and the next one will highlight and so on, and we gradually go through all the entries for a 3 by 3. And if you did that and then hit exit, then you come up with this window. Okay, now this window is back in run mode, set up for linear, and so what we need to do is to say, well, let's now enter our matrix. So how do you enter a matrix? First of all, you need to go to Shift, so that key there, and then can you see down here, right down here, mat. So you need to hit Shift 2, and you get mat up there. So it's saying I'm going to enter a matrix into run mode in a linear format. Now what matrix is it? Well, we've got matrix A. How do you pick an alpha numeric value here? Alpha there, alphabet character. So, and then we have to hit this button because there's A in there. Hang on, put the arrow at the other end, mate. So A is hiding in there. So it's mat, and then it's alpha A, and we come to this window. So mat A, and then of course what we could do, if we wanted to do an addition, we could hit plus, and then do the same thing, enter mat B. As long as B had the same size as A, we could add them. And then if we push execute, which is down the bottom, if we push execute after entering that, you will have the answer matrix, which would be the sum of A and B. Don't forget, you must have stored A and B as both 2 by 2s in this case. Otherwise you'll get a MAR error. The calculator, maths error. The calculator will not add 2 matrices of different sizes, so they must both be the same size. So here the answer to A plus B was a 2 by 2, so I guess they both had to be 2 by 2s. All right, now that's method 1. That's in linear format for run mode, and it only gives you one option, and that is entering into the storage of the calculator a matrix. And that is okay. You've got to then recall it like I've shown you, but there is another way. So come down with me and let's look at the other setup for run mode. And here it is here. And you've got some screens. So it's over here on the first screen. I've chosen math. So that's that one there. F1 would have done that. F1 does that for me. Math mode. Okay, so if you do that and hit execute, you come up with this window. It's got a little square there. And have a look at these two. If you're in a math format for run mode, then you've got the possibility of what we did before. See that arrow, Matt? We're not going to go into that one in this mode. This repeats what we did before. Allows storage of matrices, matrix A, B, etc. So if you hit that one, you'll go through the same process as what we did for linear mode. So I want to look at hitting math now. What has that got to offer? Well, it now presents this screen. So what's that got to... Oh, here it is over here, math again. So if we now want to do matrices in math mode, well, will it differ? Hit F1 and we come to this window. Okay, and can you see what we've got? We've got the option of entering any size matrix we want there. Okay, so let's presume we want to do a 2 by 2. That's this one. So we'll hit F1. And let's have a look now. Over here, we've hit F1 and we get a little matrix 2 by 2. And we can now enter that. So you can see the highlight is there. It would be flashing on an active screen. You put your number in and then move to the next one using this button here, and so on around the matrix until you have entered all entries, all elements in the 2 by 2. So you've then got that. If you now push this side of that button, the cursor moves to the right of the matrix. If you then push plus, it will put a plus there and the cursor will be flashing there. So it's an active screen showing you all the time what to do. And then if you now enter another matrix, so what would you do? You push F1 again. So where are we? We would have pushed F1. 2 by 2 will come up and you will enter in there again. Okay, so then you've got this one here entered as being added. And then if you push execute down the bottom there, I haven't got that in there, push execute, you'll have the answer. And you've got all of it displayed on the screen. Not mat A plus mat B referring to your storage of matrices as we would with when we push this. It indicates we're going to store matrices back in that position in the calculator. So that's the other way of doing it. So you need to choose, what do you prefer? This method is essential, I think, either in linear or math mode, if you want to repeatedly use any matrix that you might come up with in a problem. Okay, so I'm recommending that you set your run mode up into math format, because then in that window back there you have that or that to choose from. remembering repeated calculation, it's probably a good idea to use this arrow into MAT, so to store them. For one-off calculations, enter directly on the screen via math mode and work with it there. So the calculator to the rescue again. You can do all the stuff we've done so far. Now you might say, well, I don't really need that, I'm pretty good with numbers. But what's coming up, we're going to be looking at, remember my question from before, do you reckon it's possible to multiply matrices and do other things? Well, there's a lot of excitement coming up, and you will need to work with matrices on the calculator. For example, if we go into 4x4 or 5x5 matrices, it's going to get a lot bigger in terms of the work we have to do. So I hope you're excited about that. There is a lot of fun stuff coming up. So I'll catch you in the next presentation. Cheers for now.